Still no official cause of death for Whitney Houston. It will be a delicate process made that much more difficult because of the victim, superstar Whitney Houston. Joining me right now here in Atlanta, Mike Brooks, a law enforcement analyst for HLN and In Session. So give me an idea here. L.A. County, Beverly Hills, right. They're used to investigations involving big names, bigger than life names.
Sure. But
what makes it very complicated is not only is it a delicate investigation in and of itself, it's the cause of death, but because it involves a big name, because it involves a place where there were an awful lot of people.
Right.
Was there anything that struck you as unusual in the beginning stages of this investigation thus far?
No, the only thing that struck me as kind of unusual is how quickly they said, they pronounced her from the time that the units got there, which says to me, as a former investigator, Fred, that there were signs that there was no way that they were going to revive her, and they were probably talking to the doctors back at the emergency room saying, look, we've done this, we've done that, we've tried this resuscitation process, and nothing is working, which says to me that she may have been dead for a while.
What's interesting also, we also understand unconfirmed sources saying that Bobby Christina, the daughter of Whitney Houston,
right,
tried to get to the hotel, tried to get to the room where the body of Whitney Houston was. We understand that she was turned away, and now we're also getting new information, this being confirmed by CNN, that Bobby Christina has now been taken to the hospital herself. We don't know the details of that, but apparently she has been rushed to the hospital now, barely 24 hours after her mother was declared dead. We understand, sources are telling us that the fire department, is that right? My producer there, Margie? Fire department making sure that she got to that hospital safely. Not sure which hospital or what the circumstances are, but this investigation just of the mother's death is hard enough. And now it looks like it may be further complicated by this extension.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the amount of suffering that she's been going through over in the last 24 hours, hearing that her mother had died. But there's a lot of questions that remain, and this is the cause and manner. And investigators, a lot of things they're going to, a lot of people are also asking, well, why was the body there at the hotel room for such a long time?
Almost 9 hours.
Almost 9 hours, but there's no hurry. As an investigator, there's no hurry to take the body. If they pronounced her there, then they'll go ahead and conduct a thorough death investigation, because that's what it is right now, because we can't say it's a homicide investigation, suicide. We don't know the manner of death and the cause. But one of the other things they're going to look at, Fred, the last 24 hours of her life, the last hours of her life, trying to put together a timeline. How are they going to do that? They're going to take a look at video surveillance around that hotel. They're also going to take a look
whether it be in the hallway of where her room was, elevator, lobby,
pool area, lobby area, bar area, to find out who she was with, who did she talk to, what was her state of mind, and what else was found there in the room. Also, who was the last person to come in and out of her room? And they'll be able to tell that because the cards you have, every time you go in and out of the room with one of those electronic cards, there's a record of that.
And it's conceivable that a number of people had rooms, keys to her room, because she likely had an entourage of people who were dressing her, makeup, hair, since she was going to be going to a pre-Grammy event later on that evening.
Right, and there's some other things to investigate. There's reports that there was a record executive who was staying in the room above her, and she, around 3:30, heard 2 large bangs. Now, was this out of Whitney Houston's room? There's all kinds of speculation of what it could have been, and now we're finding out that it most likely was she was found in the tub. There might have been some prescription medication, some other things there in the room, and this is why you might not get an official cause of death for quite some time, because as they do the autopsy, whether it's done today or tomorrow, they're going to send out, they're going to do tests. Toxicology tests. Those take time. If you recall, back in 2009, when Michael Jackson died, it took the L.A. coroner almost 3 months to make an official cause of death.
You really are reminding us of that it wasn't immediate, but I did not recall that it took that long.
It was almost 3 months. And there's no rush. They want to make sure they get it right. And, a lot of people, though, Fred, have questions. They want to know, because she was such an icon. But it's going to take some time, and we might hear a preliminary autopsy. But one of the other things that the Beverly Hills police were saying, there was no obvious sign of criminal intent that they could see in the room.
And they were quick to say that, just hours after confirming her death.